Hello and welcome to Faxual. Why don't rally cars have V8 engines is a question I've seen asked multiple times on some car forums. While people have given answers to the question, I decided to make this video explaining the multiple reasons why rally cars have no V8 engines. Let's cut to the video. While there are some rally cars that have had V8 engines in them, they are really rarely seen. And the reasons for that can be separated into multiple groups, 5 to be exact. Let's go over all of them, starting off with size. Most people know that most V8s are large engines, and while there have been small V8s, the power output of them wasn't that good. I'll talk more about power later. The main reason for this is that due to the larger size that V8 engines need, the cars would have to be made larger to accommodate the larger engine displacement and general size. Because V8 engines have twice the amount of cylinders on both sides of the block compared to the traditional inline 4 engines, they usually take more space, and more material is used to make the engine. Adding weight. Which gives us a great segue to the second reason, weight. Rally cars are built to be strong, quick, and light. They are made out of light but durable materials, which also goes for the engine. This is the reason why rally cars usually use highly tuned turbocharged inline engines. Why? Because it's lighter. This might not be a fair, apples to apples type of comparison, but it was the first I thought of. Since V8s are kinda like two inline 4s that have been installed kind of like two blocks together forming a V shape with an angle between them. But I don't need to explain this, do I? Anyways. So let's compare the Mitsubishi 4G63 and the Ford Coyote V8. Yes, I'm aware that the 4G63 is smaller, but bear with me. The 4G63 is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, while the Coyote is a 5-liter V8. The 4G63 weighs about 160 kilograms or 350 pounds. The Coyote V8 on the other hand weighs about 202 kilograms or 445 pounds. Simply put, the smaller 4G63 is lighter, but that's not the full story. Like I said previously, with all the modifications done to the car on top of the Coyote's weight, the total mass of the car would be a lot higher than a car with the 4G63. If there were two rally cars that made about the same amount of power, but the other weighing a lot more, the lighter car would dominate over the heavier. The third reason is service. Rally cars travel a long distance during the entirety of the rally, so they need to be efficient enough to not run out of fuel. Rally cars usually have had no problem with fuel economy, but imagine what it would like to be if you had an engine that was larger and consumed more. Larger displacement directly means that the engine would use a lot more fuel. You wouldn't want your rally car to run out of fuel during a special stage. And if the car made it through the special stages without running out, and reach service area, things would be fine, right? Did I mention that the teams have a time limit for performing repairs? If something more serious were to happen to the car, the much more cramped engine bay, due to the larger engine, wouldn't exactly help things out, and if something was wrong with the engine itself, well, that would be a bigger problem. The much more complex designed V8s would take more time to get fixed, wasting precious service area time. So we have covered 3 so far. What two are remaining? Well, here's the fourth reason, power. V8s make a lot of power, that's a good thing, right? Well, yes and no. To understand the issue, you need to know the difference of torque and power. The simple version of that is that torque is the amount of force that the engine can rotate, and horsepower is how fast that force is made. The more horsepower you have, the faster the car goes. Torque on the other hand complicates things a bit. The more torque a car has, the more power it outputs through the crankshaft or the wheels. So more torque equals more force in the rotation of the wheels. V8 engines are known for outputting a lot of torque. I will show 2 graphs. One is from a rally-tuned Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, and the other is from a 2011 Ford Mustang. You might be looking at these while questioning, well, what does it matter? More torque the better, right? Well, not exactly. Remember when I said that more torque means more force in the rotation? As you can see, the Evo has less torque in the beginning compared to the Mustang. A lot of rally courses are run on gravel, snow, ice, sand, tarmac, concrete and dirt. This means that cars with more torque spin the wheels more during acceleration, and this usually translates to loss of traction. Which means that usually cars with lower torque can accelerate faster unless the surface can keep the wheels from spinning. This is why you can see drag cars with loads of torque doing wheelies on the drag strip. On loose surfaces, cars with a lot of torque would be almost impossible to control due to the high amount of force at once. So on rally stages that are run on more sturdier surfaces, the V8 cars would probably catch up, but on loose surfaces they just can't keep up. So the only rally race where V8 cars would make a lot of sense is Rallycross, which is run on part tarmac, part gravel track. This is also the reason why Rallycross cars have much higher horsepower and torque numbers compared to regular rally cars. Reason 5. Rules and regulations. The main reason, however, is the rules and regulations that surround rallying are somewhat strict. The governing body around motor racing, the FIA, has put in place a set of rules that manufacturers of rally cars have to follow. One of the rules is the homologation rule, which states that at least 2,500 production models of a car need to be produced. The rally car can have all-wheel drive, but the engine block must be from the production models. The max displacement is 2.0 liters, and the engine can be charged. The max allowed horsepower is 380 HP at 6,000 revolutions per minute, with the max torque being 450 newtons at 5,500 revolutions per minute. The rules are strict to avoid the days of Group B rally cars, which were overpowered, unsafe, extremely light, but really badass and amazing. But that doesn't stop individuals from building rally cars with V8 engines. And we've seen some of them. So as of now, there are no V8 engines that match the regulations that have been put into place, so those 5 factors contribute to the reason on why we don't see that many rally cars with V8s. I hope this video answered to all your questions you had about the topic, and if you have more questions, leave them into the comments section below. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. If you have friends who wonder the reasons, share this video with them and hopefully their questions will be answered. Thank you for watching.